Coming up, we take a dive into Edinburgh's crime problem and discuss the changes police have made to ensure more safety.
Then we'll take a look at the Polar Plunge and learn how ice bucket challenges help fundraise for people with disabilities.
All that and more on Torch TV. Welcome back to I'm Eli Pollitt, and along beside me is Aiden Nesher. How are you doing today, Aiden?
I'm doing pretty good. I had a great day. What about you?
I'm doing good.
Nice.
Now it's time for today's announcements. Juniors, if you're interested in being a peer mentor for freshman advisories next year, please check out our informational sheet that is posted in the junior course on It's Learning. You can also find the application there, as well in the Counseling Center. Applications are due to the Counseling Center by Friday, April 22nd.
The Indiana Department of Health and the Indiana Division of Mental Health and Addiction are launching an inaugural Youth Division Board. They are seeking applications from Indiana youth and young adults statewide for a paid position. Details can be found on your class's It's Learning page.
Many know Edinburgh as a town struggling from a high crime rate. Thankfully, the Edinburgh Police Department is working hard on turning that motion around and making Edinburgh a safer community to live in. We both did it.
In every town, every city, every state. The biggest problem is the narcotics pandemic. In Edinburgh, we see it more just because we're a small community of 5,000. Obviously, we're proactive trying to find drug dealers and take them off the street. If I take the drugs off the street from being sold, then we can start working towards those that are addicted.
In addition to drugs playing a huge role in a 119.92% higher crime rate above the national average in Edinburgh, Indiana, another cause of this is the theft from the Indiana premium outlets.
I think we're a very safe community. To give you an idea, statistic-wise, we had 5,450 cases last year, and that's out of a town of basically 5,000 people. The majority of our crime around here, besides drugs, is theft at our mall, which is a huge piece, and that is not necessarily caused by people here locally stealing. It is from people coming from different states to steal from our mall, go back and resell things. So I believe our town is pretty safe. It's made huge progress in the last probably 10 years because we have a very proactive department. Because we're a small community, we can be proactive and try to stop things before they actually happen, versus you get into a large area like a sheriff's department or state police, they're more reactionary.
With Edinburgh having a downward trend from the past 7 years in crime, the extra training has been a reason to crime becoming less of a problem.
I do not believe crime is a problem, and we're very fortunate. We got an excellent police department, an excellent police chief, and they concentrate very heavily on the drug traffic and are accomplishing a lot.
Not only can the police help with crime prevention in Edinburgh, so can the residents.
If you see something, call the police department. If you think something, call the police department. That's the best thing to do.
More plans are in action for Edinburgh as well, and they hope to soon lower the crime rate to the national average or even lower.
Last week, the criminal justice class was able to work with a use of force simulator. Students will be given multiple scenarios they would have to complete with a partner. Whatever the students chose, the simulator would give them a different outcome. Students would also be given the choice of if they wanted to go forward toward the action or stay back and help the victim if there was one. The students would also decide if they needed to use their voice, pepper spray, a taser, or a firearm to complete the task. Finally, the students would have to write a report on their choices, the criminal and the victim.
Students get a grasp of what a real police officer may have to do in the field. So, do they have to give commands? Do they use pepper spray? Do they use a taser? Or do they have to use lethal force? So it gives them some perspective on what to use, when to use, how to use their voice, those types of options available to them.
It taught me how important it is to be quick on your feet and know there are many different kinds of scenarios, and you have to be ready for anything, whether it be you have to use lethal force, stop an argument, and anything like that.
Up next, we take a look at the Polar Plunge and how it supports people with disabilities.
Nolan, it's time to get up for school.
Sleeping too much is a common symptom of depression, along with a lack of energy, trouble remembering, and reoccurring thoughts of death or suicide. If you think you may be struggling with depression, talk to your doctor or call 1-800-662-HELP.
Friends or even teachers? If so, buy a yearbook. Yearbooks are $60 now. Get at jostens.com. Senior ads can as well be purchased there.
Last month, the Special Olympics hosted their annual Polar Plunge, where schools were able to show their support for people with special needs.
Jumping into a freezing creek on a cold day may seem miserable for some, but hundreds of students and teachers from schools all around Indiana look forward to taking the plunge every year. The purpose? To raise money for Champions Together.
The Polar Plunge is an event for the Special Olympics and to raise funds to help support that. And the Special Olympics gives individuals with different types of disabilities a chance to take part in team events, and just a wonderful activity and event to include all people.
Every year, more students and teachers sign up for the event. The schools that participate are not only there for the plunge, but to show support to their peers, classmates, and maybe even family members.
I've wanted to do this for a while, and I finally had the opportunity this year. Edinburgh has participated in it for several years now, and Special Olympics is also near and dear to my heart because my oldest son participates in different events as well.
It just goes to show how much they support the Special Olympics or special needs children. It's something that I think just gets everybody involved, and it's a good way to help each other and show our support for the special needs.
The Polar Plunge is more than just a day full of fun. The schools that come together and raise money for the event are helping Indiana's 18,000 Special Olympics athletes to participate in sporting events and other activities throughout the year.
I think it's great that Edinburgh supports the Special Olympics and Champions Together just to help support the individuals in our school corporation and in our town that need extra help and need the opportunities to do these types of events, and also just being a part of something bigger than ourselves.
The Polar Plunge at Eagle Creek in Indianapolis was only one of 17 polar plunges in Indiana that help support the people of Special Olympics.
That's all we have for announcements, so now let's head over to Peyton Meyer with sports.
In the Orange Pit, your boys' volleyball team looks to extend their 3-game winning streak. They have a tri-match against North and Perry Meridian starting at 6. Tonight at 5:30, our boys' varsity baseball team plays Madison. They will also be playing Floyd Central tomorrow night at 6. Our girls' tennis team will also have a match tomorrow at 4:45 p.m. at Seymour. Also tomorrow, our track and field team has a meet at 5 p.m. against Jennings County. This Saturday, our girls' softball team is playing against Mount Vernon at 10 a.m. Good luck to all of our sports teams this week. Before we end, let's recognize 4 seniors who were able to sign to colleges so they could play their sport in college. Congrats to Torch TV's very own Corinne Grivey, who signed to Indiana Wesleyan for basketball. Branson Young, who signed to Delta State University for soccer. Elizabeth Prophet, who signed to the University of Indianapolis for swimming. And to Chris Quisenberry, who signed to Loyola University for soccer. Congrats to all of you.
What events are coming up next week in sports?
Next week in sports, the girls' tennis, track, and softball teams will be playing along the boys' golf, track, and baseball teams. Good luck to all of our athletes.
That's all we have time for today. From Eli, Peyton, and the rest of the Torch TV crew, I'm Aiden Neschi, and thank you for watching Torch TV.
And as always, try to be the best part of someone's day.